We love Moriocho.
Communities form from different things based on interests such as movies, shows, toys, food, and of course, video games. Hello y'all, I'm Moon and welcome back to my docuseries on Star Stable Online. If you haven't already, check out the last 2 parts to understand what's been discussed so far. Today we're going to discuss the community of Star Stable, and oh boy, it's about to be spicy up in here. I would like to also put a disclaimer here. This will probably be the most controversial episode of this docuseries, specifically because we're going to be discussing people's opinions, and we're also going to be pointing out people's opinions. And I would like to also say that at the end of the day, we all have different opinions, and we just need to be respectful to whether or not they agree with certain shit or disagree with certain shit. So with that being said, if you are one of these people that have said these specific responses, take this with a peace of mind from somebody that has been through a lot of shit with rude ass people and just people in general that gaslight and be toxic as hell. Don't be so far up somebody's ass to the point that you're being rude as hell to people. And this is just coming from the heart. And I would also like to add that if anything that I have said comes off as rude or malicious intent, my condolences and my apologies. At the end of the day, I am very passionate about this game, and I am also speaking up for people that have expressed genuine upset and further voicing why their opinions are valid and that y'all need to be able to respect those opinions. So without further ado, let's learn about the community. SSO's community splits into different areas with role-playing, SSO dressage, racing, western, photography, art, and many more. To give a brief rundown, these different parts have formed things such as their own cons, role-playing competitions, eventing competitions, YouTube videos, and other forms of what makes a community a community. However, with the recent Glassdoor situation and many more issues of SSO springing up, we start to see a divide, especially with the events that have unfolded. Ever since the Glassdoor incident, multiple videos have then started to pop up, either for the cause of wanting SSO to realize where the direction of the game was going, or blindly believing SSO was still a good company.
Anything for you, Beyonce!
We're now going to talk about the strikes and revolutions that have happened over the year. First, hashtag No Starcoin Month and hashtag 200 Starcoin Allowance, which was organized by Rattle. Rattle Pryor also dives in on SSO not just as a game, but also how the company really is. Basically, on April 21st, 2021, people came together on Facebook and Instagram sharing these hashtags to get SSO's attention and also not buy any star coins.
Talk about your wing shillings, talk about the amount of horses, the small updates, anything that bugs you, you can talk about. But just somewhere in your comments have the hashtag 200 allowance SSO to show that we're all standing together in this. Don't use this opportunity to belittle, attack, or degrade SSO. All their social media accounts are still being manned by one person or persons who reply to you. So always remember the human, be cordial and be kind, but be firm. Use this opportunity to express to SSO what is bugging you, or use it to tell them that you're just tired and want to see a change. Whatever you want to tell them, do so on the 21st of April on their newest Facebook update. The more people who are part of it, the better chance to actually get their attention and make a change in SSO. Even if it is just for them to be more open with us, that post that they make to announce the game has been updated, that is the post we're going to be posting this.
aftermath was big enough to where SSL released a damage control article that didn't really answer anything on content, leading to the creation of roadmaps. I do think it affected them money-wise a little bit because of pushing out deals and good horses, but definitely not enough in terms of getting them to change. Now, I mainly participated via not spending money since February and in another part of the strike, the What About Us video. It was a music video collaboratively made by people sent to Rattle with pictures or footage sharing the hashtag in terms of effects. It definitely spread more awareness about SSO. Next strike, hashtag save the sand lines. The riding hall was getting shittily upgraded, and the SSO dressage community heavily requested for texture lines to be saved because they are crucial to SSD. So to further understand the lines in SSD, I'll be referring to two club resources, Emerald Hunter's line post and Pink Queen's Legacy's lines document. Based on Pink Queen's doc, basically the purpose of the lines is to help with organization of routines and moves, aka with how they make lines, circles, etc. with the use of grids, especially with letters. Furthermore, this doc goes more in depth with different terminology of SSD as well as the use of different patterns.
Within the dressage community, it is what makes up the base of their dressage moves and overall their dressage career. So basically, this riding arena has been one that our dressage community has evolved with through multiple long years. And we've adapted to it. We've made up so many different moves according to the textures, specific points, we've named specific lines, and everything having to do with the little details of the arena itself. Alyssa Sleepy Pie, which is a huge inspiration of mine in the dressage community, said, "An updated riding hall sounds great. However, I think it is important, and I hope your team has listened to the feedback the dressage community has given you regarding this update. Every line and dot-like texture on the arena ground has been mapped out and utilized to teach players for over 2 years, and it would be a huge blow to our community to have this changed. Star Stable Dressage has created diagrams for players to help them with their Star Stable online dressage, based on the current arena textures. I'm hoping more than anything, this feedback to your team has not been ignored and the arena is being updated with your largest player base in mind." April Purple Knight, which is the owner of Star Stable Dressage, said, "Please consider this. So important to our dressage community, which is one of your largest player communities." And Star Stable Online replies to her, saying, "We love how passionate and creative our dressage community is, and I will make sure to pass along your feedback. Thank you for sharing." April Purple Knight commented on her own, "If you update the riding hall, please keep the current markings and indicators we have on the arena floor. They are so important to Star Stable Online Dressage. I have diagrams drawn up on the markers if any reference is needed. Super nervous about the riding arena update, but also excited." And there are so many more people who commented about this, and it's something that we're really concerned about because, again, we have based so many moves on this, and we have, just generally, we use the arena points, the textures, for so much moves, and it makes up a huge part of the community itself. I can't even begin to think about the Star Stable Dressage community without its arena lines. How would that even look? I really, really hope that they are taking this into consideration because it would be devastating to lose our arena lines.
However, it only got stronger when the lines got ruined.
Wait! Where are our lines? The meter points. What? Where are our meter points? No! Wait, hold up. Let me check if this is... Oh my god. Oh, the community is struggling too. So, you can't find X. You can't find it. They promised us meter points, and they didn't give it to us. Oh my god, teaching dressage is going to be so much harder now. I guess, okay, the good thing is that you can still find the slant lines. You can still find slant lines, but the meter points, everything that, like, oh my, wait, is this just like a joke? Yeah, the dots, the promised dots they give us, they're not really dots. They're not like our regular meter points. They're just like brighter smudges. We don't even have our bright lines anymore. I'm literally going to cry. Wait, so let's count our quadrants. But we can't even, wait. We don't even have our quadrant lines anymore. Wait, 1, 2, 3, sorry, 4, 5. I'm counting the amount of quadrants in the arena. It's still uneven. I mean, it's a bigger arena, but it changes so many things. Words cannot describe how disappointed I am right now.
And if y'all want to check these out, I will be leaving a link in the description below. And if you want to take a look at the document, just DM Pink Queen's Legacy. They were very nice to be able to let me look at this, so thank you. People from the role-playing community specifically didn't understand why, leading to a lot of people, including some role-play influencers and an ambassador, which more on that later, saying things such as, "It's not dressage, it's quadro," which was basically a very disrespectful comment to SSD. Here's the thing, y'all. People know it's not real life dressage, hence why it's called SSO dressage. Since SSO doesn't bother to add actual dressage into the game, this is a form of art, and to disrespect it and make fun of it isn't the way to go when there's a clear amount of people that were upset. Even the influencers and the one ambassador that endorsed it further. Here's the thing, some of y'all actually love your art and look up to it, especially learning art and also getting better as an artist. But I gotta be honest with y'all, it's that what you said is very disrespectful towards this huge part, if not the biggest part of the SSO player base, with degrading their community. If you don't know much about their field of self, don't speak on it. Now, in terms of SSD, I have done it before here and there, except never really doing it competitively. So I highly respect clubs that work extremely hard on these routines. Pretty much, SSO destroyed their toolbox in years and years of work that was approved by leaders of SSD, leading to having it to rebuild again. Also, I would like to state here, I entirely did research on this via comments, as well as these two resources that I've stated before. So before anybody starts to say, "But you're not even a part of it," I did my research. Hence why I am putting it in this video, because I feel like it's very important to talk about.
We specifically went on Star Stable's post, and there are like 1,000 people commenting, "Make sure you keep our arena points. Make sure you keep our arena points." And they do this. Dangerous Sisters, we were preparing this amazing routine for the new Star Stable Dressage Comp Pentaplethora, and it relied all on meter points. I don't even know what to say, and we can't find the midline. We can't find the midline, which is the line between E and B. And is there a center line? Maybe. Maybe the arena looks cleaner, but it is so much it's so much just changed, and you can't, oh my god, I really don't know what to say. I am going crazy. I can't do this.
After a while, SSO finally caved in, which is still very rare by the way, and fixed it by adding an add-on and off version for role players and dressage people, which thankfully saved SSD, I hope, but they still had to rebuild here and there. However, that doesn't mean the community is gonna forget this complication ever happened. We'll bring up this situation again when we go in depth about ambassadors in this video. This is one of the events that heavily show how much you gotta push for SSO to fix something, and it's gotta be as big as this if we want the game to be fixed. Another strike that rarely got SSO to fix an issue is the end fastbar depth situation. And Fastbart is an SSO video start editor who also does content other than SSO. One day on August 21st, 2021, An made a post and a story post discussing how she ended up with literal SSO depth. A lot of people spoke up about this issue either video-wise or through social media.
I don't want to imagine the anger and Fastbart must feel right now. She just posted something on her Instagram right now, I just saw it, and Star Stable responded to her, "Hi, thank you for your reaction. We can only refund purchases that haven't been used yet. Since your star coins have already been spent, we cannot refund your purchase. It's not even a refund is possible, but they can literally take away 1,000 star coins away from my account, but they won't even give me a refund for it. This is beyond normal, and this absolutely boils my blood. I will be contacting news sites today to help spread awareness. If you guys have any suggestions, drop them here. Know that these have to be gaming news sites that will actually share the story. This is beyond abnormal. Star Stable really messed up again big time, and it's like kind of frustrating because Star Stable keeps on messing up big time and completely shoving our feedback under a rug as if nothing's happening, just completely ignoring us. And like, we're not robots, we're people, we're human. We know, we see stuff.
After about a couple of weeks, Stacy Play saw the post and let On know they'll look into it. And after a while, they were able to reset her amount to 0 after fucking pushing them. We also find out this bug was actually kinda common, but rare, yet they still haven't fixed this shit. The final strike we'll be discussing is the flea-bitten Arabian strike. Before I explain this, we're going to talk about how it started. When the Gen 3 Arabian spoilers came out, people took to liking to two coats that weren't there upon release. The Black Rubicano and the flea-bitten Arabian. Both are very beautiful, by the way. Now, the funny thing is people were so onto the fact that the flea-bitten would make it, and the Black Rubicano was an NPC just because one of the people sharing it couldn't change the main, aka one I wanted from the get-go. Wow!
You were the clock that was ticking in my home. Changed my state of mind.
Ladies and gentlemen,
So hard to find.
we got
My ass was so happy that we could get this coat because so many of y'all thought it wouldn't be a damn NPC horse. Okay, anyways. At the same time, I did hope people get the flea-bitten Arabian. Oh no. This comment right here then caused the whole domino effect of sparking the hashtag SSO flea-bitten wanted. This sparked the whole damn movement, as well as looking at concerns for why two other horses, the paint, broken ass Frisian, and the white Marari didn't come into the game after trying to go on the app failed. After a while in the next run map, they were able to finally reveal that the flea-bitten Arabian would come to the game. However, there were still people that were salty about it coming due to either being straight up SSO's ass as know-it-alls or think no one deserved it. This concludes the strikes portion. Now let's actually talk about how the community feels about certain things with SSO. For this section, we'll be talking about the different types of people in this community and how it can fully turn into a rude-ass situation due to not understanding that there's something called different opinions. So the categories are honest players, the ones who realize SSO's bullshit and now are doing their best to spread awareness and speak up in hopes SSO will one day listen. The White Knights, the one who stand and simp for SSO, as if it's their daddy, Messiah, Jesus, and has reactions to people that disagree with them like,
You guys! Mr. Wilson is waiting on us to stop talking. You guys are being so disrespectful! I am so sorry that your students are behaving in this childish manner, Daddy Wilson, Mr. Wilson.
And lastly, the peacemakers, people who don't really talk about it or chose to stay indifferent about SSO. First, let's talk about the honest players. From what I've seen, comments range from opinionated sentences to concise paragraphs. Why do a lot of them go into paragraphs, you may ask? Well, that's because of the White Knights. Basically, if you say you disagree about something SSO has done or something in SSO, they will think that you just said some satanic ritual in a church and immediately try to silence you to stay positive 24/7. Let's take a look at some, shall we? Great. Yet again, people who are rude to Star Stable get what they want. So, we get 300 star coins every year on the 25th. People shouldn't be rewarded for being horrible. This game shouldn't be awarded for being horrible. They are not horrible. They are just like other games. Goodbye. Hope you live horribly. Honestly, girl, you didn't need to go that far. Jesus. Hey, morning players. You want star coins?
Buy them.
Don't want to buy them?
Then stop asking for them to be free all the time.
Getting sick of all the stop forgetting about us. Boo-hoo. $65 for only 5k is outrageous since they price everything so high in game. 5k doesn't last long at all, nor does 10k honestly. I can tell you're rich. Not everyone can buy star coins, and plus we're not all moaning about star coins. We want more meaningful quests for the older players. You get to level 20 and nothing. They update weekly yet can't find the time to give us better quests. Oh, and the character update got delayed again, and I'm not sure we'll get to see new Dark Riders this year even. It's the empty promises that disappoint us older players. See you in every post defending SSO and being against every idea anyone suggests. Why is that? Why would a minigame be too much for a game company to handle if they can use existing assets like calming a horse? I'm not against the idea. I'm just saying my opinion. And it's too much effort because
Everyone
wants something different. There are people which just like petting the horse, and then there are probably people wanting mini games which got something to do with the background of the game. I'm just thinking on this. Let me calm myself. Oh my god, I'm literally crying. I'm having too much damn fun with this. I'm just being honest and not even nearly defending anyone here. I know how difficult it is to try making a game and how long even the smallest animations take. You're not saying your opinion. You're acting like SSO spokesperson, which you aren't. No, they can't do this because this and that. It's not new that people have different tastes and prefer different things. Yet this community gathered around this game because they like their overall concept. Not doing or at least trying something new out with the excuse that maybe some people would have liked it in a different way is simply lazy. So what if someone would have liked it in a different way? They could have always tried out more options from existing assets. Sorry, but you don't make any sense. No game would ever exist or progress if they all would just stop and block every kind of content because people have different tastes. Been here working with C4D, Blender, Unreal Engine 3, and CryEngine, and made quite a few game projects myself. Animation doesn't take as long as you think, especially not if they already have the rig done, which they have. And creating new anime is not even the key point here. They have enough existing assets, pet, horse, heal horse, collect lights, etc., that they are able to reuse and mash up into a working progress. The people who work at SSO are professionals who are getting paid. They aren't some freelancing low-wage 16-year-olds excusing little to no content with the argument that production takes somewhat time and effort makes absolutely no sense when you're talking about a company that has the purpose and point of game development. Y'all give this lady a round of applause. Amen. Shit. Players need to stop whining about not getting something. We are Star Rider. We already have access to the whole dang game. We don't need more. Yeah, after paying for that. You got what you paid for. We get a lot already in the game for paying for Star Rider monthly and lifetime. We don't need a lot. I'm sorry. I'm again. We don't need a lot like y'all demand when we already got a lot already. Lol. Star Stable gameplay needs to improve. I love this update. Y'all are so ungrateful. Star Stable is doing their best. They can't do all those extreme ideas that y'all are expecting from the #1 horse game, like some quests. Lower your expectation and stop complaining. Some people are just so ungrateful. I can't even. Well, you can also just be grateful that they want to give us quests and not spam click through it. Yeah, sure. I'll be grateful for the bare minimum. Yes, gaming is a luxury on its own already. And in fact, maybe SSO should cut the weekly allowance and not give us any new content anymore. Maybe then you'll learn to be
Grateful.
with what you have. Oh dear. I feel sorry for you for being so blind of love for this game. You don't know what's happening behind the scenes, so don't argue. The weekly allowance is a bare minimum and reason why people buy Lifetime. We bought it. They cannot take it from us. And they already give us no content, so that's just reality.
Oh God.
It's just a filler update between Halloween, the Ice Linux, and a new quest. If you don't like it, just stop playing the game, LMAO. LMAO, the typical fangirls quotes. Be grateful, stop playing it, and play another game. You guys need to come up with new ones. These are boring already. So true. This comment section is starting to look like a Rockstar Games comment section. If you're not happy with what SSO is doing, play something else. There's so much stuff out there to play. I've been a member since 2012, but I don't play this game. I need to stop chilling on so this. But I don't play this game every day. Maybe once or twice a month if there's a star coin deal, I might buy $30 worth of coins if there's something good going on. If I don't have that money, oh well. The point is, immerse yourself in other genres of video games if you're not currently happy with one. Playing a video game to the point of announcing your departure of the company's decision is unhealthy and develops
A toxic mindset.
After reading a couple of these comments in different posts, you can really see the reoccurring ones come up again and again, as well as how they react to people that actually said the damn truth. Reasoning being is because I think it's just because these people are scared that if more people speak up and acknowledge the negatives, the game wouldn't be here anymore. The thing is, it's not gonna be here if we don't at least try to speak up and do something to voice our opinions. Plus, if you can't handle other people's opinions, just move on with life. In life, not everyone's gonna love everything or dislike something. There's gotta be a balance of positive and negatives. All it takes is just listening to both sides and understanding why people are upset or content with something. As for the peacemakers, they don't really engage unless pushed to a point, which is what I was prior. I typically go with waiting till more info comes out before formulating my opinion. Over time, I realized how SSO was treating people, especially with learning about previous MMO scandals from the Bless Online fiasco to look out for what companies do. I just didn't spoke up on things at the time because at that time, when stuff was starting to really hit the fan, I was, and I'm still going through a lot of issues with my mental health after how horrible 2020 was, ranging from friendship breakups to struggling with depression. So I showed my support with supporting comments and videos through likes in that picture for the What About Us video. What pushed me into finally speaking up was the constantly seeing people get shit on for trying to voice why they're upset. So with that being said, I'm going to share my experiences on talking to people that disagreed or agreed with me. But it's mainly people that disagree with me due to either being rude or actually managing to be respectful and have a discussion. For the sake of protecting my ass, I will be covering their names. First, we're going to talk about what I call the girl who tried to gaslight my ass to the heavens with uncouth language, but failed. This is on one of those posts during I believe, the 10th anniversary event, and there was still are people wondering where the fuck Starcoin codes were. So, I typically help people understand why people are upset and confused, etc.
Can I get a waffle? Can I please get a waffle?
So this one bitch took my explanation as a complaint and attack. So to help out in a nice way, I explained to her further on this issue. After all of that, the bitch didn't even read it, which further confirms my suspicion that most of the obvious white knights don't really read what others are saying. Wow, ma'am, really showing the level of maturity here. So instead of having her try to gaslight me, my ass has stayed calm and didn't give her a reaction to push my button. In the one picture I have here, here's the bit of the convo I got. Hey, I'm not expecting you to change anything or your opinion. I'm just giving mine like everyone else, and that's all. So it's just really a part of the discussion, just another side. So I'll pretend that I do care. Okay, then have a nice day. Like I said, I'm just giving my opinion, so that's all. Okay, and that's it really. So just have a nice day. Then after that, her photography having ass blocked me. And to be honest, I didn't really care, to be honest with you. At the end of the day, if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. Unless if you already burned yourself in a matter of different opinions. Another situation I had where it came to a better understanding was this combo discussing having male characters in the game. And this one was a moment not really fully understanding the situation. So to sum it up, we both discussed games with male or female protags, discussed how SSO is possible with males, and also giving our own takes. Overall, we were able to resolve the situation by understanding one another and hoping we didn't offend the other, which was a breath of fresh air. We basically both acknowledge, hey, she believes in this, so I acknowledge that point, but also add in why, hey, we believed in different things. This is an example of what happens if it just takes time for people to understand one another. An example of how shit can hit the fan real quick is this situation. And this was probably the worst one because this chick decided to drop in personal shit. One of the reoccurring bitches thought it would be a good idea to go and shit on people, wondering where the characters are, leading to me and others bring up the main quest article. Basically, old girl was in denial and basically wanted to silence us and shit on us, so my ass just assumed she didn't read anything or what the article said based on my experiences prior. It then got to the point where this bitch thought it was a good idea to bring up a personal matter, which for the sake of privacy, to be in a more, I guess to put this into the best words possible, it was over the death of a family member. Now, the reason why I didn't address that part of the comment was because I was answering in parts, and on top of that, notifications in Insta didn't load in due to my fucking college Wi-Fi of my college dorm. And the other reason being, what the hell am I supposed to say in that situation? I didn't want to say something disrespectful or touch on something that's sensitive. Basically, she dragged me into her personal issues out of nowhere and it overwhelmed me, and I did wish I had said something, because then this bitch had a full-on meltdown with saying I didn't care about her family member loss. I also forgot to add this. Throughout each comment, what she would commonly do is not let people tag her, and also she would bring up topics or words you didn't say to try to derail the situation of or what you're talking about. After this bitch then blocked me, and after a while she unblocked me for some odd reason, but goddamn. If you're watching this, Miss Girl, please don't bring up personal shit in a public comment section. You could have said this in my DMs or something, or somewhere else. I honestly didn't know what to do when you said that, and it already overwhelmed me with what I was dealing with mental health wise. So next time, don't shove something that personal onto others, because you don't know how they're going to react, and overall, it's just really immature to bring up something like that while degrading someone over a different opinion. And also, my condolences to your family member loss and so forth. Honestly, feel like people that don't like feedback or constructive criticism don't understand that we have to go in these long paragraphs and emphasize this how we feel, or else the white knight is going to shit on us for not liking something about the game. White knights would also use a lot of different arguments that don't help. There are 4 main ones we'll be talking about. The first one, if you don't like it, don't play it. This argument is probably the one I hate the most because this means you're assuming we hate the game as a whole. No, we don't. We love the game. And we're passionate about it, which is why we're speaking up about it.
It makes me so mad when people say this because it is ridiculous, and please stop saying it, that when somebody gives criticism or is unhappy about something, saying go and play another game. Why do I hate this so much? Because it basically takes the unhappiness that somebody has expressed and said, that doesn't matter, go and take it somewhere else. It is just stop, okay? The point is, people are getting frustrated and people are getting upset because, first of all, they love the game, okay? Their hearts are in it, because if they didn't like the game or have any sort of connection with it, they probably wouldn't play it. But also, just a side note, because this does irk me a little bit, where are they supposed to go exactly? If they're looking for an MMORPG, which means massively multiplayer online roleplay that is based on horses, that they can run on most machines, where are they supposed to go? Because you can't throw horse riding tales at me, because it's not massively multiplayer, it's not open world. But you can't say Red Dead, because first of all, it's not a horse game. Second of all, most people can't run it. Third of all, it's incredibly expensive. And pretty much every other game is mobile based. I do love Rival Stars though, but again, it's not a massively multiplayer online roleplay game. It's not that, so you can't say that you can go somewhere else.
Next argument is, as I said earlier, SSO has 2 teams. The main quest article? They don't have one, sis. Next, you don't gotta buy every horse, as I stated before. Ma'am, let me introduce you to FOMO and people that actually love them, but it's too damn expensive to buy. Finally, of course, the ones with comments that claim SSO said this or is going to do this. Here's the thing. You can boast all you want that SSO is gonna be able to do something, but until I see them do something in the right direction, then maybe, just maybe, I'll have some faith in them again. But right now, I don't listen to pretty words. I look at their actions. At the end of the day, we all love the game. It just takes a matter of understanding the situation of both sides, but unfortunately, it's hard for others to respect people's opinions and acknowledge the reality of the situation as people. Spoiler accounts have especially sprung up over time in my opinion, mainly just to give others sneak peeks on what to come, or just got tired of waiting for SSO to speak on what's coming. Thing is, people are shitting on them for showing something that can be found just by looking into the folders of the game in 5 minutes. Also, if you didn't want to see them, I'm talking to you, the few ambassadors and white knights that be talking about this. Just don't look at them. Also, they're honestly the same as the fucking roadmap posts, even though their design is vague on what day is gonna have what. Plus, there's even spoiler accounts that took the time out of their day to making sure people that don't like spoilers have a cover. Don't get butthurt just because you accidentally saw a spoiler and throw a fit because SSO is doing the same thing. Alright, that was a short section. Now let's get into what I guess you could say public figures in SSO. As SSO evolved, the birth of the Ambassador program came out in February 2017. If anyone was wondering, the only ambassadors I actually followed back in my day was Northina, aka Renee Blue Knight, and Elizabeth Riverland, which both have quit SSO since then. As for modern day ones, I guess you could say, I have followed some either because their art's good or they're not completely brainwashed. The Ambassador program is basically a program full of influencers that basically really just become walking ads and also hit with having a similar style to SSO. When it comes to white knights, some ambassadors are in this category, as well as people that I like to call wannabe ambassadors. Basically, both of them go from 1 minute preaching, no bullying, positivity 24/7, to then shitting on people in the comments over not liking something SSO did, to praising SSO like a damn cult in a horror game. This is called toxic positivity, which by definition is dismissing negative emotions and responding to distress with false reassurances rather than empathy. And it also comes from feeling uncomfortable with negative emotions, and is often well-intentioned, but can cause alienation and a feeling of disconnect. Remember that situation with the ambassador and the other influencers calling SSD Quadrille? Well, you're about to see the actual situation, and once again, for the sake of protecting my ass, I'll be covering the people's names that are advocating for disrespecting SSD by calling it Quadrille or Drill Team.
Yo, peeps, this is how a dressage arena looks like. If it's too small, there's a bunch of big pads around to do your big shows in. Moreland, Manor, Starshine Ranch, South Hook, and etc.
Honey, the lines are barely visible in there. What do you mean?
And maybe this is the time to create new methods to your routines. I'm so happy SSO stays somehow within the realistic realm. It saddens me to see such awful behavior just because your dots and lines are not there. Sorry, but it really saddens me.
This right here is an example of toxic positivity. She is basically invalidating a lot of people's feelings right now by saying you have awful behavior over dots and lines. Basically, she's thinking of this as nothing and basically thinks of it as an inconvenience.
I would also like to spread some awareness regarding the term SSO dressage. It's in fact a very wrong term to use. You guys are not doing dressage, but equestrian quadrille. Dressage is one person and one horse show. Multiple duels synchronized at once in an arena equals
Equestrian quadrille.
It would be nice if we could use the correct terms so we avoid such confusion.
Now, the reason why this is a bad thing to say, this is basically a huge insult, as I've stated earlier in the strike section. Calling the SSO dressage community quadrille is a horrible, very rude insult to dressage in SSO. We all know this is not real life dressage, but this is extremely disrespectful. You're basically degrading the whole entire community. And it needs to be said that there's people in this game that the reason why they have spoken up a lot about this is because they are passionate about the game. And it's just common fact. Old girl tried to then do a little bit of a first round of damage control by saying, clarification, I would like to address I do not hate on the quadrille community. I love what they do and admire them for it. I've tried and it's hard. What I wanted was to spread awareness of the difference between dressage and quadrille. I'm happy for those that do dressage with letters finally have a true sized arena to do routines on. Here's the thing. She's saying they love what SSO dressage does, yet you're still calling them quadrille. Therefore, you are still disrespecting them and degrading the whole community. You're acting like you are very nice to the community right now when you are very much being an asshole. Miss Ambassador decided to give one more damage control hurrah by saying, this is my last comment on this matter for today. Very tired. I get their anger, but also the arena looks absolutely wonderful. Okay, ma'am, but there's a huge issue. It gives them set arenas that could be hugely beneficial for senior purposes during the competitions, and so gave us the option to toggle those off and on. Plus, they gave us an arena to grab tag/clothing, which is pretty cool too. They found a way to use the old arena through trial and error. They can 100% find a way to do quadrille in this arena too. Again, she's still degrading the community by saying quadrille. And man, let me tell you something. You're acting like people in SSO dressage just take scenic pictures. No, the fuck they don't. They actually take a long ass time to do fucking routines. And you are sitting up there on your little ass thinking, they could probably use this to make themselves look like they're actually doing what they're supposed to do in real life. Honey, this is once again SSO dressage. They need a big space to actually do it. And then she finishes off with these last two lines. Actually can't wait to see quadrille videos from the new arena. And then her little self then decides to act all cute by saying, thank you, Star Stable, for this amazing revamp. I just honestly don't get what went through this ambassador's head, thinking that this was something appropriate to say in the right moment when people were so upset. Some of y'all just showed y'all asses on how rude y'all are. And it shows because y'all managed to degrade a whole community with just a few simple pictures on a story post. I don't think y'all realize this, but how do y'all not realize that? Y'all just
said some rude ass shit just like that, and you think it's okay? My God.
That's not the only thing about them. I feel like this program just silences you because of how people aren't really being unique unless if you do art. It just saddens me how people in this program fall further into thinking SSO is the messiah to the promised land when they're about to go to a fake ass land. I would also like to put out there when it comes to the star stable format style, if you like that style and you didn't really like it, great. However, to those that are trying to be wannabe ambassadors, y'all, people aren't really gonna like you that much if you're just gonna keep trying to be an ambassador. At least be unique about it. Few of you that do like them, the thing is, you gotta be honest with yourself about if they really have your best intentions at heart. Hell, there's even been an ambassador that tried to do a Discord server of talking about mental health and a bunch of other shit when this shit should really be going to something like a professional or in a more healthier environment with people that are close to you. As for actual influencers, please pay attention to how they treat others and their opinions because you can see how they're being real or just toxic as hell. Here's a lovely list of people I like that aren't rude as hell, or at least for now, not rude as hell, and are actually honest about things instead of sugarcoating shit. You got them right there, sis? Good, because we're about to dive into some scandals surrounding influencers. Oddly enough, this community has T accounts, which I didn't even know they existed. However, just like the damn beauty community, there's good ones and shitty ones. Let's talk about the shitty one, SSO Tea Spilled. Old girl thought it was a good idea to create drama on a person named April Purple Knight, who is actually I believe the head leader of SSO Dressage, by taking out certain parts of a Discord convo, thus leading to a lot of people coming together to stand up for April. And then old girl wasn't gonna speak no more, so her ass ran off, I guess. Now, I'm gonna give you 2 T accounts that are reliable with one linking to a scandal later on. First, SSO Opinions. They speak up a lot on predatory behavior done by club owners and influencers, as well as mistreatment of people in clubs. For people mistreated in clubs, that will be in the next part of this video. For now, let's look at 2 major scandals surrounding influencers. First off, Jenny Pearlgreen, aka Wolfie. Wolfie is the leader of Steel Bees, which is another typical SSD club. However, it was found out that not only she cheated in SSD competitions, but also predatory behavior with minors. This led to a constant cycle of acting like Wolfie left, but really just being on an alt account or having someone fill in until stuff dies down. Other attempts also include trying to do a Western club, but ultimately failing because people caught on to what she was trying to do. Another account that also links to this is Exposing Wolfie, which heavily discusses these issues, and at the moment it's at a standstill. But clubs and others are acknowledging it and not supporting her. The next major situation is Sylvie Mistream. Sylvie is an influencer and YouTuber who at the time was kind of popular, where she mainly talked while training as well as having more heavy opinions. She's a part of 2 scandals. The first one is what I like to call the disrespect of Women's Day. For those of you who don't know, there's actually a holiday called International Women's Day, which is commemorating our success of being able to have women's rights, basically, to sum it up. In Sylvie's video, she made it discussing why she thought Women's Day wasn't important and how it was stupid, when in turn it sparked a lot of controversy under the post.
What prompted me to hate her was a video she made in 2019 about why she hates Women's Day, where she basically goes on a rant for like 20 whole minutes that's completely sexist, and it's made out of privilege and just so much hate that enough was enough that she should have been canceled.
Later on, she ended up apologizing, but this was only the beginning of seeing this woman's release, thus leading to her biggest scandal yet, the N-word. Sylvie one day thought it'd be an excellent idea to post a short video on a bay quarter horse and say, "Look at this little racial slur."
Look at this horse. This horse is a cute little isn't he?
Since that video, so many influencers and people spoke up on how this was not only racist, but completely disrespectful.
Sylvie Mistream is a 22-year-old white woman. She is not allowed to say that word. That word is rooted in racism. That word is rooted with the pain and suffering that black people have faced at the hands of white people and even other races. Only black people are allowed to say the N-word.
So I was scrolling through the comments, which, thank God, are all full of people telling Sylvie off, to which she doesn't care.
Being primarily white, or anyone, really, who are uneducated or racist. Please understand what you are saying and what it means. Understand the impacts you may have on others based on what you say or what you do. We need to understand each other in order to see each other for who we really are.
But I just felt that I would speak out about this because I am black, and the N-word is a big no-no, and it should not be used in a virtual horse game for kids. The word is very hurtful and is used to belittle our race. However, I did make this video not only to speak up for African Americans, but also every person of color, because I already know it is hard being judged by your skin. And I'm not gonna lie, I was really emotional when I first heard about this situation because it is hurtful and it does make me feel bad, all because of your skin color. Now, I'm not in any way, shape, or form calling Sylvie racist, but the word itself just has a connotation with it that people, that is what slave masters and what people back in the day used to call us, to belittle us, and it was just used to devalue us. And skin color is just what it is. It's a color. Everyone is equal. It is literally 2020, so I honestly don't understand when people will realize this. It is sad that racism is still prevalent in 2020, but it's also sad that homophobia is still existent, and sexism is, and a whole bunch of other issues that are still in our world and is still a huge issue.
To understand why this is bad for other people not African American to say this is basically back in the day, this is just a little short history lesson, white people specifically would use this racial slur except with a different ending to refer to slaves. Once the word wholly grew into kind of becoming more modernized, African Americans then took back that word and made our own. I also, once again, highly recommend learning about this, since once again, like with the feminism bit from episode 1, I want y'all to do your own research to formulate an opinion to fully understand.
Sylvie, you are not a victim of this word. The black community are trying to reclaim and redefine the N-word and get rid of its negative pasts, as Sylvie has mentioned before.
However, if we say it a lot, then eventually the word will lose its meaning. I mean, that's what happened with the word literally.
Which would be impossible if you, a person who is not black, utilize the word with or without consideration of where it originated from. The meaning of this word can only be eradicated by the victims themselves, and not the oppressors who established the word in the first place.
Now, believe it or not, I'm actually African American. However, in terms of appearance, this is the closest I got with SSO's character creation, since I am more on the lighter African American side, but once again, SSO doesn't got the best skin shade range. And on top of that, they don't really have my hair color in long hairstyles. Basically, they only got it in this short hairstyle. So hopefully when SSO finishes their 1 million year process on updated characters, I can finally customize myself to actually look like myself. Anyways, it's clear she was in denial about it, and she tried to use the excuse of having people of color as friends when nobody. You said a racial slur. That wasn't an accident or a mistake. You took the time to think it through and say it.
So by hundreds of people, I really don't care. I really don't care. Like I said, you don't care that you said that word. I don't care.
In turn, people also have discovered that she had predatory behavior on another account with grooming minors. Since this happened, SSO actually banned her account temporarily, and since then, she's tried to wiggle her way in with voicing opinions and training vids. She also actually deleted her original channel and made a new one, which is how she's been wiggling in. However, people are now seeing this more and more lean to acknowledging it and wanting her to leave. In my opinion, as an African American, instead of saying to leave, she needs to get help, because if she's not understanding why saying this is horrible and why she's not admitting to her child predatory behavior, it's signs that she should probably go get help. In terms of this community, buddy, I gotta be honest with you, I don't think you'll be able to recover and fit back into this, because people aren't gonna forget stuff like that. This isn't stuff that's going under that's like water under the bridge. So to conclude, I think she needs to get help in understanding the severity, because she's treating it like she's just broke a vase or spilled a glass of milk. Since then, she's now put a highlight with her statements on the whole thing. As for the predatory shit, she basically tried to justify it in the story of another person, which I digress. She's pretty much trying to move on, but the other thing is she's actually just running away from the issues she has. Instead of trying to get help, she's running away from what she did. With that being said, I feel like these situations further prove my point on there's already predatory behavior regardless if there's boys or not, and this just shows that I think we should be aware about it and need people that have done it to own up to their shit and get help. With that being said, we have now finished talking about the community. The community has a lot to offer, but even then, there's just the underlying toxicity that's gonna continue to grow due to a lot of these situations. Now that we have discussed all 3 sections, the final episode will have my overall opinion of SSO this year, as well as giving suggestions going forward and also talking about the aftermath. The community over the years has become a divided shell. Even then, who knows how long it'll be till people get heartbroken because of it.